Yeah, so really, the only thing that can destroy Bitcoin for people who and this is mainly for people who are into their alts and want to see Bitcoin knocked off the top. For those, the only thing that can really destroy Bitcoin is probably Bitcoin itself. Uh, Greed, corruption, corrupt little scammers and stuff are one thing, but Bitcoin is the only thing that can really stop Bitcoin at the moment. Its dominance is just so unrivaled at the moment. I mean, all the altcoins are tied into Bitcoin in terms of their value. Bitcoin's, just huge compared to the rest. Um, but if anything did ever happen to Bitcoin, if it ever was compromised, or any crap like that people are trying to say is happening, whatever, your altcoins are going to go with it. Your altcoins will die faster. They're symbiotically bound to Bitcoin, whether you like it or not. It may not be, and this is why I don't really like a lot of the coins that bash Bitcoin, because they need Bitcoin. I know it's a marketing tactic, but everyone knows Bitcoin is the gateway to altcoins. Without Bitcoin, altcoins will cease to exist, because if the Bitcoin chain did hard fork or anything like that, it will. The amount of trust and effort and energy and innovation and creativity and dedication that's gone into Bitcoin, you won't see in any other coin if Bitcoin dies. Blockchain itself will still be around, but it won't be used as a form of money. Perhaps as a sort of in other uses, perhaps like data storage, applications, things like that. Blockchain will be used as, but it wouldn't if Bitcoin messes up. Bitcoin is basically the flagship, and it's the flagship for all of the types of coins out there, whether it's Ripple or Ethereum. They're all just as They're all still very risky. It's still uncharted grounds that we're going into. Even though the concept and idea of digital money or digital credits or currency has been around. I mean, they touch it in a lot of sci-fi movies, and we had e-gold back in the early 2000s, and so the concept has always been there for humans since technology has kind of taken off and our imaginations have kind of sparked from it. But if Bitcoin dies, this is it. I mean, if Bitcoin dies, well, no, if it hard forks, that's probably the most likely way Bitcoin could be destroyed right now. I don't think a hard fork is totally likely. I don't think it's that likely. But if a Bitcoin did hard fork, you can bet your cotton socks that the other coins will dramatically shrivel up as well. It just wouldn't happen. It's the boss at the moment. Um, blockchain, it will probably just be used more for private, as a private system for companies if Bitcoin dies. It's all riding on Bitcoin. So for those of you who want your altcoins to knock Bitcoin off the top, you may not want that just yet. You may be shooting yourselves and your altcoins in the foot. Whether or not the altcoin is legitimate or not. Also, if Bitcoin hard forked, it would just leave a huge power vacuum for smaller, less legitimate, centralized, scammy altcoins to thrive. And that's something we don't want. That wouldn't do the technology any good. And I'm speaking for innovation and creativity, not for Bitcoin. I'm speaking for the potential it can give to people. The normal people, the everyday people, people who live in just, a normal house, normal basic paying job. It's the people, it's them who will benefit the most from this. Okay? Not Roger Ver or Ant Paul or any of those, those greedy sods. But yeah, that's what I think on that. I'm just being real with you guys. I'm probably one of the only people talking this real about Bitcoin. I'm not icing it. I'm not, putting a cherry on top and making it, sugarcoating it. I'm not doing that. I'm just as real as possible with you guys. So you guys know you stand with me. It's a pity. There's only a few people on YouTube that I see doing that as well. So, that's refreshing. So yeah, a lot of people on YouTube are just fake. They don't know what they're talking about, or they just don't see things. They don't look at things in a realistic manner. Therefore, it clouds their judgment. I'm not negative. I'm realistic. I'm positive. I'm very optimistic, but I'm also very realistic as well. I've been called negative because I'm like that, and it's like, no, I'm just anticipate the best, but no, hope for the best, anticipate the worst, just in case. Have a contingency plan. That's what intelligent people would do. So, and I'm being realistic with you guys all the time with this, So if Bitcoin did ever hard fork, you'll see. Then it will get on the news. You'll see Bitcoin on the news then. But you'll see a lot of these. You may see a few altcoins try and rise up to take some of the market cap from disgruntled Bitcoin investors, and that wouldn't be good. It'll just be more pump and dumps. And this time, rather than dumping into Bitcoin, they either dump into US dollar or gold or silver. That's what they'll do, or the next scammy company. So Bitcoin at the moment is the defense against that happening, against the blockchain currency industry, cryptocurrency industry going haywire. Look at Bitcoin as the defense against some corrupt system taking over entirely. It's like if the Avengers lost and the aliens took over, kind of thing, That's what Bitcoin is right now. It's basically the defense against that. So we don't want it, it's in everyone, it's in blockchain technology's interest to keep Bitcoin alive. It's in Ripple's interest. It's in Ethereum's interest. It's in my interest. It's in your interest. It's in all of our interests. Because we can't let human greed wreck something which can potentially help. It's happy. I mean, if you look throughout history, when great things that started out good and proper, it just gets corrupted and taken and siphoned and drained, and the original people who made it either go into hiding or they're just gone, and it just gets taken and destroyed. So we don't want that to happen. And I'm not saying that Bitcoin is it could easily happen to Bitcoin. I'm just saying we don't want it to happen. Like a hard fork just isn't something we need. We don't want to split it into. We just don't want it to happen. I think long-term people, next 3 to 6 months, there's going to be a lot of rockiness, but as long as there's no hard fork, I don't see Bitcoin being totally being compromised. But no altcoin can really match Bitcoin. When Bitcoin solves the scaling problems, hopefully sooner rather than later, you'll see the altcoins just be what they really are worth. A lot of altcoins are overpriced, and you'll see them just be a fraction of what they're worth. They'll just be speculative, used for margin trading just to make a quick pump. Some will stay around. That's what I think. Yeah, that's what I think will happen. But will Bitcoin scale soon? I don't know. I can't give you a date. I don't know. I'm not an insider, but I can sure as hell tell you it will happen. It could happen. They could sort it out within a week if they wanted to. But I mean, it will really trash a lot of the altcoins prices when it does happen.